PHX5 SEC. Some people just can't read. They are too dumb.
Civilian target. Firing on targets.
What's up guys, Wolf here. Hopefully you did enjoy the gameplay. I'm sure you could tell that I could survive pretty much anything the game wanted to throw at me, whether it be solo countdown or fighting hunters or even just going into a legendary mission, playing solo in a group, whatever, dishing out massive amounts of damage considering how tanky we are and just surviving non-stop. I could even stop playing the game and go to the toilet while I'm standing in the middle of a legendary mission and come back and I'll still be alive. That's how strong this build is, and I may delete it because it's ridiculous. And I wanted to make a very tanky PvE striker setup, and I tried a bunch of different variations. So hopefully you did enjoy the gameplay. I'm going to quickly explain how this setup works. And I'm sure you could tell, we're hitting from around about 500,000 to 700k a bullet with this setup. And also I can stand there and tank pretty much infinite amounts of damage. It depends on the mission and what enemies are actually shooting you, obviously, but it just works. This setup is a permanent loadout for me. I use this all the time playing solo in a group whenever I'm going to go into very difficult situations. Like the final part of Tidal Basin on Legendary, I use this build. It becomes easy with this. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let's take a look. So I really wanted to get as much damage as I could. I have tried a high-end version of this. Yes, it can work, but let's be honest, and I'm sure we are all aware that Striker is definitely the meta for damage right now. And I think the backpack and chest piece are going to be a must because I've got all blues, and we can definitely make use of the chest piece because I can get it stacked up and keep it there because I'll be constantly shooting. Now, this obviously does depend on the mission, but this build is only going to be very, very powerful in the most difficult content in the game. Now, keep in mind that I have stacked protection from elites. You can still tank pretty decent damage from non-elites, but if you guys did not want to use this build as a protection from elite setup and you wanted to take it into situations where you're going to have more red and more yellow, more red and more purple NPCs, should I say, or anything like that that are non-elites, then what I would recommend doing is simply changing the modifications, getting more damage, and then swapping out the improvised piece for whatever else you want. Like a Belston 1 piece for regen, you can have a healer guard for more armor, you can have a Grupo for more crit damage, or a Cheska for more crit chance. There are many ways you can take this build, but I recommend if you want to get the most out of it, you make it the way that I've set this up now. It's an easy build to get and to make. You just have to craft a bunch of improvised pieces and hopefully get a good one, then farm this mask, and then getting the striker pieces is going to be quite easy, and I'm sure by now you guys have already got a full striker build. So, survivalist, to get extra protection from elites, you can adapt this build however you want, whichever way, to suit your own playstyle. You don't have to use this, but this gives me more protection from elites. You can use this build in a group, solo, whatever. It doesn't matter. Any content, it will work extremely well. Fighting hunters is where it really shines, and in Countdown, it's a very powerful. You could even turn this into a more of a red version if you would like to. You could put Coyote's mask and then have, if you can get the pieces, all red, and then put PVE on for Countdown. That would be really powerful. But like I said, for me, going into the most difficult parts of the game, this will always save me and my teammates. I love using this playing in a group. When we were playing like District Union on Legendary, I can press the Chungas by myself and kill them. You guys will see from the gameplay. I'm sure you would have noticed from the gameplay I showed. So this is going to be all blues. Like I said, it's up to you. You can use whatever weapon you want as well. There's so much flexibility here. And also I'm using Defender Drone with a shield. Now, the St. Elmo's engine, the modifications and the utility from the shock, especially for hunters, is very powerful. And I recommend having damage to targets out of cover. However, it's up to you. You can change this if you would like. Lefty, to proc the talent. If you guys need to do more damage on maybe like a boss or something, you can proc Perfect Sledgehammer. This also works really well in the incursion for the turret, the first encounter, and also the third encounter when you fight the boss with the axe who runs around the room and you got to turn the valves. Works unbelievably well. I mean, even the fourth part, the only time I wouldn't really recommend full tank with this PVE setup is probably just going to be the second phase, the tanker and the incursion, but you could still use it. I mean, I use this in the incursion as well. There's many situations where this is viable. Then the lefty shotgun, like I said, to stack striker and to get perfect sledgehammer with damage to targets out of cover. Orbit pistol for more crit, simple. Then the striker 4-piece, it's very easy. We're going to use the chest piece because we can maintain and get the stacks pretty well. I've got crit damage, and every single modification on this build I have placed as a protection from elite mod. I think I've got 13%. Try just put all 13% if you can, but it's up to you. You can balance it out and go for more crit if you would like. With this build, and if you optimize your gear properly, I believe you could hit just under 1 million damage a shot with full blues, which is just immense. So I recommend you guys go all protection from elite modifications, and then the striker's chest piece with the backpack. Crit chance rolled there. The backpack is very efficient. I recommend it. Better than Memento. It gives you more than double the damage of a fully stacked Memento. It's a must use, especially in this build. Then holster, I've got crit chance, and gloves, I've got crit chance. Then the knee pads, you could have gloves, holster, it doesn't matter, whichever one you want. Out of these three, you can choose whichever better one you've got. Crit damage and crit chance, so that we can put an extra modification. This piece is also interchangeable. If you guys find that in a mission you're doing with your team or by yourself has very few elites, you could change this and put something like maybe like box spray knee pads, or put contractors, or put, like I said before, Belston or Grupo, Cheska. It really just depends on what you want and what your situation is. Then arguably the best piece on this build, and I tested so much with this, and the Catharsis was just a must-have because we can tank so much damage. Therefore, we get more weapon damage, and also We can heal ourselves pretty decently because we've got max armor, and it cleanses status effects. So this is a must-use piece. I recommend Catharsis absolutely. And that's it, guys. That is the build. Now, when you talk about playstyle, you can be very aggressive with this setup because we can dish out really good damage for the amount of survivability that we have. I think it's very impressive. You can hold back, press forward. Just be careful of some of the purple NPCs. They can kill you pretty quick. But as long as you focus them, and if you're playing in a team, let your teammates know to focus the non-elites more, then you'll have absolutely no problem and you will love this build. Let's take a look at these stats. So I have got 54% crit chance, don't go below this, 86% crit damage. You can increase this if you would like. The other important stats I'm going to go through is I have got some armor regen from the mask, but I've also got 59% protection from elites. I feel like that is a good amount. It's up to you. You can elevate this if you do use more improvised pieces, but I do recommend going for the striker and also the mask. The mask is very important to stack extra damage and to heal yourself and also to cleanse status effects. So I really do recommend keeping the mask, but it's really up to you on how you want to adapt the build, just as long as you do so to suit your own playstyle and to match your situation. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Peace out.